Today we'll be talking about self-watering containers. There are several on the market, including the AutoPot as well as the Earthbox. Several other growers have come up with ways to make self-watering containers out of plastic totes or plastic buckets, and they all work very well for the most part. And they're all based on the basic concept that there's going to be a layer of water on the bottom of the container that's constant, and a wick either of soil or maybe a rag or a piece of towel, something that will help pull that water up from the base where all the water is at into the container mixture in the bucket. And this concept allows you to go just a little bit further than you normally would between water. The most common issue, whether it be growing peppers or tomatoes or any other vegetable plant, is the issue of either too dry or too wet. Now, if the media is too dry, what will happen is the plant will have a few roots that will go down deep enough to get water, but there's not sufficient roots to come out to efficiently grow the plant in a normal method, and the plants will be dwarfed, as you see here with the zucchini plant. Now, the other issue happens to be when the mixture is too wet. And what happens when it's too wet is the plant sends down short roots, and those roots do not penetrate down to the bottom of the container, because in an ideal situation, you will want about 50% airspace to 50% moisture within the container mix for proper gas exchange as well as nutrient uptake and water uptake. So in the case of the too dry mix, your plant will never seem to get enough to mature into a larger plant. So if your plants are not growing quickly or to a good size, that would be one thing to check. You could actually put your finger down into the mix or take a trowel and dig down in to see if the moisture starts within a proper range or not. Now, too dry, you probably will not see good production. You will not see plants progressing throughout the season the way that you'd want to. Too wet, on the other hand, and what will happen is this plant will suffer for over probably several weeks. It will be set back as the roots on this young plant try to grow, and as they grow, they'll start to colonize the upper zone first. As the plant gets a little bit of size, it starts to take up more moisture, and when you get a larger plant, what will happen is the roots will start to colonize all the way down through here, and that once too wet area will now be enough for that larger plant, because it will pull more moisture out of the mix, and the plant will be more capable of dealing with those wet conditions, because it is pulling moisture at a more normal rate up through the bottom of the water zone there.